just a sort of last picture on the platelet plug formation, because sometimes looking at the figures is a little easier than memorizing lists, at least for me. And the figure will come up eventually. Okay. So the figure that I'm talking about is this one on the left. That one we covered. This one on the right we didn't talk about yet. So this is just an explanation visually of what's going on with the platelet plug formation. So here we see where the blood vessel was damaged. That's that gap. And we can see the layers that are exposed here. So here for the blood vessel, in this blood vessel, we have a layer of smooth muscle, a layer of subendothelium, and the subendothelium includes collagen fibers within it. And then we have the layer of the endothelium, which is the one that lines all of our blood vessels, including the capillaries. So what's happening here when we get a cut is that as we cut through these layers, we expose the collagen in this subendothelium to the bloodstream, right? Because we wouldn't be bleeding if we didn't go all the way through into this blood vessel. So the blood comes in contact with these collagen fibers, which is what binds the von Willebrand factor, which is not on here, but that's the VWF. And that's what makes this layer sticky and causes the platelet adhesion. So that's what the platelets are sticking to as they start to form the plug. And then they aggregate or lump together, forming the plug. Because of that increasing stickiness, which partially has to do with products they themselves are secreting, including the ADP and the thromboxane A2, which is why we see those two little leaves there. So that was all covered in words on the previous slides, but yeah, I like pictures. The one on the right we haven't covered yet, but this is just showing you why the clot doesn't spread out to the sides. Healthy cells secrete these chemicals that kind of stop clots from forming. That's why you're not just clotting up all the time. Okay. Cool. It's circulating like in the blood all the time, but it attaches to that subendothelium. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll see when we get to clotting that a lot of clotting has to do with different factors that are in your bloodstream but inactive kind of all the time until something happens that activates them. So this is the one that kind of gets activated as we're forming a platelet plug. And then that whole big list that we saw for clot formation and didn't get into has to do with other factors that are in the bloodstream that are going to help you make a clot.